Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling. If a single photo could spark 1,000 questions, what should we do first? Fear the worst or look closer with care? Tonight on Update X24H, we explore a story-raising concern for actor Guo Junchen. Some posts claim he may have had a tooth removed and fear he could become the next victim. Before you worry, let's slow down, look compassionately, and examine what's known, what's unknown, and how we, as a respectful community, can make the internet safer for artists and for ourselves. In the past few days, a single photograph of Guo Junchen has traveled widely, accompanied by captions suggesting a missing tooth and dark possibilities. It is understandable that such images awaken memories of earlier tragedies and stir protective instincts among fans. Yet before fear hardens into certainty, it is worth pausing to recognize how little a still frame truly proves. A mouth caught mid-speech can look uneven. A shadow can mimic a gap. Compression on social platforms can distort detail. There are many quiet, ordinary explanations. Routine dental treatment, a temporary cap, orthodontic work, a role requiring a prosthetic, or simply the angle of a lens. None of these are sinister. All of them are common. What matters first is dignity. Public figures may live in the spotlight, but their health decisions remain personal. A respectful community does not demand disclosures, nor does it imply danger where no evidence exists. This is not a call to silence concern. It is an invitation to refine it. Care becomes stronger when it is careful. Instead of amplifying a claim because it feels urgent, we can examine what is shown, ask what is assumed, and then seek context. Are there official schedules, interviews, or agency statements that clarify a filming requirement? Has the image been cross-checked against original sources rather than edited compilations? Have we considered that a professional might choose a temporary dental procedure for comfort or performance? Each question lowers the temperature and raises the standard. There is also a human cost to speculation. Artists read comments. Families do too. Repeating unverified narratives can deepen anxiety without offering help. If we truly want to support the well-being of performers, we can advocate for practical safeguards. Sane hours, rest days, access to medical and mental health professionals, while keeping our curiosity gentle and our language measured. We can acknowledge the past without letting it dictate every interpretation of the present. So yes, the photograph prompts emotion. That is natural. But compassion is not the same as alarm. The kindest starting point is restraint, to withhold judgment, to request better information, and to remember that ordinary explanations are often the right ones. In doing so, we protect not only one actor's privacy but also the integrity of our own community, choosing a culture that values truth, patience, and care over quick conclusions. A photograph is a promise and a trap. It offers the illusion of certainty while freezing a living moment into something strangely brittle. In the image of Guo Junchen that has traveled so quickly, many see a gap and rush to name it. Yet the mouth is a restless instrument. A fraction of a second earlier or later and the lips would have covered the teeth, the tongue would have shifted, the jaw would have relaxed, the light would have struck at a kinder angle. What we call evidence is often a choreography of chance, the shutter's timing, the lens's distortion, the compression that social platforms apply, the shadows that deepen when a frame is lifted from motion and held too close. A still can look decisive precisely because it is incomplete. There are softer explanations that demand no drama. Routine dental care, a temporary cap, a veneer in progress, or a prosthetic for a role. Publicity shoots and film sets are full of small practical choices that sit beneath the spectacle. Guards to protect during rehearsals, retouching quirks, even the way a color grade can erase fine details. The more we work in images, the more we must respect their limits. To interpret a single frame as a verdict is to forget that life is not a photograph. It is a sequence, and meaning usually resides in the sequence. Looking closely need not mean looking harshly. Thoughtful viewing begins with restraint. Hold the image at arm's length, ask what it shows, then ask what we are bringing to it. If we arrive already anxious, we will find confirmation for our fears. If we arrive curious and careful, we may notice how many possibilities remain open. Cross-checking with original sources, comparing with contiguous footage, and seeking ordinary context, interviews, schedules, statements, do not diminish compassion, they dignify it. They turn concern into care. There is also a responsibility to language. A caption can tilt an audience long before facts are available. When we choose verbs that suggest certainty where there is none, we transform a question into an accusation and a person into a storyline. Better to speak with the humility that a single image deserves, to admit what we do not know, and to let time and fuller information do their quiet work. In that patience, we protect a human being from becoming a symbol, and we protect ourselves from mistaking interpretation for truth. We are pattern-making creatures. Faced with a single striking image and memories of past tragedies, the mind knits threads together and names a shape. It is comforting in a way to believe events line up into a clear design. Comfort lives in certainty. Yet certainty is often the first casualty of grief and fear. When we say, "This looks like what happened before," we are not discovering fate, we are revealing our longing for an answer that arrives quickly and hurts less. The honest work is slower. It asks whether resemblance is meaningful or merely convenient, whether we are reading the world or reading ourselves. A statistical view reminds us that in an age of endless cameras, coincidences multiply. Out of thousands of frames, some will mimic the worst possibilities, just as clouds sometimes resemble dragons. A medical view tells us that ordinary dental procedures are common and unremarkable. What appears extraordinary in a cropped still may be no more than routine care. An ethical view asks what our comparisons do to real people. When we lift patterns from history and drape them over someone's present, we risk narrowing their life to a prophecy. That burden is heavy for a stranger to place. The past matters, but it is not a template. Recalling other cases can teach caution about workplace safety, mental health, and the duty of care owed to performers. It should also teach restraint. Pattern recognition is valuable when it guides better safeguards. It becomes harmful when it becomes accusation by analogy. The disciplines that protect truth are modest ones. Gather multiple sources, check timelines, prefer primary statements to speculation, and keep language conditional until facts mature. These are not cold habits. They are compassionate ones, because they refuse to make a person's private health the raw material of a narrative. There is space, too, for tenderness. We can admit that resemblance unsettles us and still refuse to surrender to inevitability. We can acknowledge the ache of unresolved questions and still choose not to spread conclusions that overreach the evidence. Perhaps the kindest posture is to hold both possibilities at once. That patterns sometimes signal danger, and that sometimes a resemblance is just a coincidence. Between those poles lies the grown-up work of citizenship online. Curious but careful, attentive but patient, where concern is not a theater of panic, and care means protecting dignity as fiercely as we pursue the truth. What truly honors both artists and audiences is the quiet architecture of care that surrounds the work. Behind every close-up and every live appearance should stand simple, professional safeguards. Scheduled rest, realistic call sheets, debriefs after demanding scenes, and confidential access to clinicians who understand the pressures of performance. Stunt rehearsals deserve the same respect as premieres. Mouthguards, on-set dental consults, routine checkups, and immediate follow-through after minor injuries are not luxuries but good housekeeping. Equally vital is psychological hygiene. Private spaces to decompress, a named point of contact for distress, and managers trained to recognize early signs of exhaustion or anxiety. None of this invites panic. It prevents it. For audiences, care looks like restraint and kindness. Appreciating the craft without demanding disclosures, reporting harassment instead of amplifying it, and sending messages that say, "Take your time," rather than "Explain yourself." For media and platforms, care means foregrounding verified information and de-incentivizing rumor. When these practical measures meet a culture of patience, speculation loses its grip. We protect dignity not by silencing curiosity, but by shepherding it through responsible habits. In that steadier light, a photograph becomes what it should be. A moment, not a verdict. A person, not a storyline. A single image set many hearts racing, But our final task is gentler, to return the story to its human scale. We can hold concern without letting it harden into suspicion, and we can care for an artist without turning their private life into public proof. If the photograph reflects routine dental care, then we wish for a quick recovery and an easy smile. If it is simply an awkward frame, we can let it pass without building a narrative around it. What matters is the posture we choose together, patient, fair, and kind. Let us leave space for facts to arrive, for official voices to clarify, for time to cool the temperature of the room. Let us encourage working conditions that keep performers safe, and a comment culture that honors dignity before drama. Our community is at its best when curiosity serves compassion, when language remains measured, and when a person is never reduced to a symbol. Tonight's takeaway is simple and demanding. Withhold judgment, ask for context, and speak with care. In doing so, we protect not only one actor but the integrity of our shared space, proving that attention can be thoughtful and that empathy, like the truth, is worth waiting for. If you value calm, compassionate storytelling, please subscribe to Update X24H, tap the bell, and share this video with a friend who loves thoughtful discussions. Thank you for spending time with us today. Your presence helps build a kinder internet. See you in the next episode.